Okay, so full transparency. I am a church girl, and you probably knew that. But I came from a ministry family. I grew up holiness. Holiness. I went to a church that was would be considered a word church, almost clinically word based. And by word, I mean the King James version of the Bible. King James. So amazing, amazing foundation in scripture. Really great. Maybe the best thing about my childhood growing up, because I think if I had come to faith as a late teen or an early adult, I can't imagine opening a Bible for the first time and actually having to learn everything that was in there. So I'm grateful. But here's the bottom line, with everything that they gave me, nobody ever told me why I'm here. I mean, yeah, I'm aware of Jesus' great commission to go into all the world and win souls, right? But outside of that, all I knew was that we're living every day hoping to be ready for when we die or for when Jesus returns. Outside of that, why was I here? Nobody ever told me. So, somewhere around the second or third year of college, and I went away to college because when you grow up holiness, you want to go away to college. And I was listening to a sermon. A friend of mine had invited me to a church, and I was listening to a sermon. And in this sermon, the preacher said something amazing. What he said is, there's a purpose for you being here. There's a purpose for you being here. And he meant that. It wasn't just go into all the world and win souls. It was while you are here, occupying this space and time, you're supposed to be doing something. And all I know is something inside of me just woke up majorly. I was so relieved to know there was a purpose. And so that really kicked off my personal relationship with God. Like I wanted to know him. I wanted to know what that purpose was. And something inside of me got really hungry to understand that. And over time, here's a concept that I developed. I'm not saying I created this concept. I'm just saying that this became real to me and I found a way to say it. God is a God who dreams big dreams for us. He's a dreamer. He's the original creative, right? He crafted the entire universe and he continues to move throughout time artistically. He imagines things, he innovates, and then he creates them and makes them so. And not just at the beginning, but he's doing that all the time. He's creating things, he's painting things. I could get into time space continuum and talk about, when God did something versus when it happens for us, how he exists outside the universe. I'm not trying to be that deep. I'm just telling you, we serve a very creative, artistic God who dreams big dreams for us. So, yes, he crafted us in his image. But then on a more individual basis, when he was dreaming about me, when he was dreaming about you, he was thinking specifically about two things: a long range goal, which I'm going to call your calling, and tools, gifts, and talents that are supposed to support you, equip you, and inform you on your journey to accomplish that long range goal. So, built into us is purpose, a calling, a long range goal, and then gifts and talents, tools that are supposed to help us as we attempt to accomplish that long range goal. That was pretty amazing to me because what it told me was that God was not just this far off force with no relationship to me, but that he was intentional about me, intentional about how I would look, what I would need, intentional about putting a sense of eternity in my heart, something to motivate me to be more, something to motivate me to do well, and something to motivate me to be more like him. He's given you a calling and he's given you gifts and talents. So then you're saying to yourself, she promised us music industry stuff. Why is she talking about all this spiritual stuff? What does this have to do with the music industry? Actually, everything. Here's the good news. If you know why you're here, if you know what the long range goals are, and if you know what your gifts and talents are, Your opportunity for success is simply assured. Failure is not an option because God doesn't make failures. That is actually the best news ever. So, my encouragement to you is find out what your calling is and start to ask God to reveal to you your gifts and talents. You will shortcut this process for yourself, maybe by a lifetime. It's just good news. Success doesn't have to be a crapshoot. It really can be yours. That's what God envisioned.